for this, Amafada, Mr. Samson Kamuyare, and all other of Lafia. Fellow practitioners, today marks another that this country adopts this day as an engineering day in the very near future. But we need to earn it, and I believe we can collectively do. As practitioners, we must commit ourselves to ensuring engineering solutions for the myriad of developmental challenges bedeviling this country, and thus get celebrated and be so honored. From 1992, practitioners, a unique opportunity for all of us to rub minds on topical issues affecting engineering and reflect on the growth of the profession and its contributions to the development of our great country. This assembly will focus on the decisions of the Council to institute the Nigerian Engineering Codes and Standards, and for which a Council Standing Committee was inaugurated. I hereby confirm as an update that much has not been achieved, and there is need for a review and articulation of the issues. There has been various contestations on propriety of having the Nigerian codes and standards, which is the position of some stakeholders, while others advise that we adopt one of the existing codes. The Council, after a review of the situation, ultimately decided that the most responsible and respectful approach was to hold a detailed discussion on the subject, hence, choice of the theme of this year's assembly. We have outlined various themes to effectively deal with the subject. It is our conviction that enacting an adaptation of Nigerian codes and standards will ensure a robust engineering practice and provide solutions to the incessant failure of engineering facilities and infrastructure in Nigeria, particularly building structures. This will also ameliorate challenges and shape better opportunities for practitioners for an enhanced future in the lives and economy of Nigerians. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me provide key highlights of some of the Council's activities the past 1 year. Engineers' Code of Conduct. Since the last assembly, the Council had intensified its effort at ensuring discipline and harmony in the practice of engineering. Hence, we have revised the Engineers' Code of Conduct to embrace all cadres of engineering. Code of Conduct seeks to preserve the high ethical standards of engineering profession, which is the highest statutes of COREN. It's also meant to guide COREN registered practitioners in their practices and ethical decision-making. The document has been carefully compiled to ensure that engineering practice in Nigeria is in line with world best practices, so that all professional activities, as well as the practitioner's disposition towards colleagues, client, the public, service to humanity, and so on, are done with utmost care and due diligence. Council has therefore enacted a regulation, otherwise referred to as Engineering Practitioners' Code of Conduct, to be issued to all its registered practitioners to ensure engineering practice can continue to earn the public's trust as CPD guidelines. Whereas it is the intendment of the COREN Act, as well as the virtue of the professional designation of engineering, it is both a public and government expectation activities of practitioners. This informed the decision of the Council continuing professional development guidelines. Current CPD guidelines is for the maintenance and enhancement of knowledge, expertise, and competence of practitioners throughout their careers. So a plan formulated with regards to the needs of the profession, the employer, the practitioners, and the society at large. All over the world, CPD has become an essential component of professional life to ensure that the members of professional institutions and associations have the knowledge and experience to continue to honor of their practice licenses. COREN has inaugurated the constituents of the CPD with their allotted points for the information of practitioners. Council has also approved that the professional associations coordinate the institutions and activities that can generate required CPD points. Harmonized practitioners registration interview. Over the years, Council has devised several mechanisms for achieving an organized and business-like registration procedure across the board. Procedures have continuously been reviewed to accommodate varying circumstances in line with available global professional registration policies. Council, at its meeting of Thursday, 12 March 2020, approved the guidelines for registration of practitioners, which is the current extant document being used for registration. Guidelines spell out the qualifications and experience required to be attained by prospective registrants, including the approved procedure for the registration, of which a major ingredient is the professional examination or interview. There have, however, been various complaints, correctness and/or integrity of the professional examination or interview. Stakeholders have also complained about the propriety of having two standards of examinations for registration with COREN. While on the one hand, NSE organizes its examination, COREN, on the other hand, also organizes its examination. This protestation from registrants that the interview questions are also always deviating from the objective of the interview as a competency test. Now, COREN, desirous of becoming a member of the International Engineering Alliance, cannot afford a controversial and compromised professional interview or examination procedure. Hence, the need to ensure an efficient and sustainable standard in the Nigeria of today cannot be overemphasized. Council has therefore reviewed and approved the harmonization of the interviews and rationalized the examiner selection process, including their accreditation and training. Henceforth, COREN professional interview will be used both for the registration with Council and the related professional associations. Thank you. The leaderships of the professional associations will activate and invoke appropriate buy-in strategies that will ensure a smooth transition. And for the avoidance of doubt, I have directed in Council that COREN will no longer undertake any professional interview. That's to be done jointly with NSE and the other associations. Engineering regulation and monitoring. The amended COREN Act instituted engineering regulations monitoring as an important mandate of COREN to further deepen professionalism in engineering practice. Council established the ERM department and inaugurated the state technical committees as well as the monitoring committees with, among others, the following mandates. One, to ensure the registration of engineering practitioners, both local and expatriates, and firms with COREN. To ensure that engineering is practiced in Nigeria in accordance with relevant codes of engineering practice. 3, to enforce and maintain discipline and strict standards of ethics in the practice of the engineering profession in Nigeria. 4, to foster the speedy acquisition of all relevant engineering and technological skills by ensuring capacity building and monitoring local content development in the Nigerian engineering industry. 5, to minimize with time, eliminate engineering and technological dependence of Nigeria on other countries. by ensuring mandatory attachment of Nigerians to expatriate engineers on major projects to understudy them from inception. Council also intends to work through the various STCs to monitor and enforce compliance of the Koren Act. As of today, 15 states' technical committees have so far been inaugurated. As an important stakeholder, this assembly is invited to collaborate with the initiative in the interest of public safety and for the protection of our national development and economic investment. Koren provisional signatory status to the Washington Accord. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it has been the desire of Koren to benchmark Nigerian engineering education system and accreditation standards to be in line with global best practices. This is considering the short and long-term numerous individual, institutional,